really know what to say. I'm just a bit happy, really. I'm just a bit happy. Premier League's back. I wanted this back. I know the Championship's back, but Derby just fuck up every single year. So it's not like, sometimes it gets a bit boring. But I mean, I still support them, obviously. So, but the Premier League is where it is. I just want to see like big teams, United, City, battle it out. Fucking power slam, Batista bomb everywhere, all of that shit. But first of all, I found this video on my phone that I need to show because I promised I was gonna put it on when I was on a night out. So here we go.
Shout out to us. There we go. ADIIDAZ HD. Follow. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
We love you, ADIIDAZ.
Thank you, I know who you are, but thank you for that. I said I was going to put it in. And also, Molly's brother, Owen Hickson. Thank you for watching my videos day out, day in. I know you're a big subscriber, so thank you. But guys, today, I'm just going to do a simple video. I think about like 400,000 people on YouTube have done. Last year, when I did this BPL predictions, it didn't really go well. I said Man City were going to win. They came 4th or something. I put Chelsea 3rd or 5th or something like that. And they won. So, and also, I only got 1 out of the 3 teams I said were going to go down. Right, so, let's start with 20th. Also, people did it before the Premier League started. I decided to get me a bit better at my predictions. I'm going to go a week after the BPL starts so I can watch all the teams, see how well they do. And I also changed it after a couple places a bit. So hopefully I get some of these right and we'll see how I do. Yeah. Right, first of all, 20th is one that I changed a bit because of the first game. I'm pulling Brighton there. Even though they got a lot of good strikers, they got Glenn Murray, even though he's probably Championship standard. They sold Stockdale. Even though they got Matty Bryan or whatever his name is from Valencia. They got these new players, but I just don't think their team's good enough. I mean, it was against Man City their first game. They lost 2-0. Yeah, that's let up. But I mean, even against teams like Newcastle or like West Ham or Burnley, I still think they're going to struggle. I think their main standout player is Knockout. I think that's the only player that's going to make a massive impact in their team. But after the first game, I swapped these 2 teams round, which you'll understand later on. You will. 19th I put is Swansea. I'm only saying Swansea 19th if Sigurdsson goes. And I've heard Llorente's maybe moving. I don't really know what's happening with him, but Sigurdsson looks like he's definitely moving. So if he moves, I think Swansea are going to struggle. I mean, if you have a look at their team, apart from those 2 players, probably their main player is maybe Leroy Fer. It's like their team's so average, and I like just looking at the team. They got Tom Carroll and Leroy Fer in the middle with Key. I mean, that's a great sentiment role. Those 3, oh my god, wonderful dreams. Now 18th, this is where I changed it. I'm putting Huddersfield here. I put them last before this weekend, and decided I had to change it up because they thrashed Crystal Palace. Steve Mounier up front. Unbelievable player how well he did. It was unreal. I had a look at his stats before Huddersfield. He played for Montpellier and then from like Rennes or Lens or something. I don't know what team it was in Ligue 1, but he did shit at both of them. Just randomly came to Huddersfield out of nowhere, bagged 2 goals in his first game. Unreal stuff. You've also got some decent signings from them. Their centre backs are good. They've got a backup striker, the Belgian guy that used to play for Porto, I think it was. They've got a decent manager. Wagner, I think it is, was unreal in the Championship, and he was an underdog and managed to get Huddersfield out from like being mid-table all the way in playoff spots and winning in the penalties and that. So I do think they're gonna do a bit better. I still think they're gonna go down, but I think they're gonna bring up at least a chance of trying to stay up. Because their team does look good. Next, we've got Stoke, the probably most boringest team apart from last year when it was Sunderland. Stoke are, I don't think they're good enough. I mean, they'll still survive. Every year they do survive. But I think their only decent player now is Shaqiri. I mean, even though he was old, Jonathan Walters, he was sick for Stoke. He's gone now to Burnley. I mean, Arnautovic has gone to West Ham, and they bought Choupo-Moting in, but he's just playing average. Like, he did nothing in the Schalke last time I saw him. Yeah, they're just so boring. Next of all, I think it's the team that's going to survive from coming up last year, and that is Newcastle. I think that team's solid. They've got decent strikers. Their midfield, John Joe Shelby. They've got Isaac Hayden, who was very good for Newcastle back last year. Their centre backs are very good. They got a new guy, Legieux, I think his name is, from Ibar, French centre back. They've removed all the awful players. Like, thank God they got rid of like Colaccini and stuff like that. They brought in new left backs, right backs. They've still got good players, and I do think they're going to survive this year. Next of all, we got Crystal Palace. I think I'm not going to take anything away from them after that first game. They were shit. Yes, they were shit, but I do think they're still good. They've got some decent players. They've still got Benteke. They've still got Wilfried Zaha. Townsend was still good last year. I mean, the defence is alright. They brought that guy, I can't pronounce his name, from Ajax, who did really good with Sanchez last year in that centre-back. I don't see him doing anything good this year, but I still don't think they'll get relegated. Next of all, I think we got Bournemouth. They did well last year, but what I said, I thought they were going to get relegated. But I mean, Josh King came out of nowhere, bagging goals. Harry Arter was sick in midfield, and also when they got Nathan Ake on loan, he was insane. So thank God they brought him back. Jermaine Defoe they've also got. Even though he's old, he can still bag goals, and he proved that last year. So I do think they're going to come around 14th, 13th, if they still play the way they did last year. Even though they lost their first game 1-0, I think it was. But I mean, like, yeah, what a boring game that was. Next of all, we got the team that always goes bottom half and somehow stays, does nothing all season, and that is West Brom. Defence just gets goals. I can't say anything about them. Defence just gets goals. I think they actually rely on Macaulay and Dawson as well. Above West Brom, in 12th above Burnley, they did insane against Chelsea, but I don't think they'll be able to carry that on for the whole season. I do think that was a one-off, but I do think they're still good enough to come higher than they did last year. I think they came like 16th or something. So this year, I think they'll do better, but I think 12th's a good position for them. And also above that, I've got West Ham. Even though West Ham have bought so many good players like Chicharito, Arnautovic, they bought Joe Hart on loan as well. I do think they're going to come mid-table again. For some reason, their team, the way they play and all this stuff just does not work. Every year, I think the best they came in for 4 years now is like 7th or 6th. They got into Europa League positions, but I don't think they're going to get any higher than probably 9th. In this season. At 10th, I got Watford. When I watched them against Liverpool, all their new signings did insane. Andre Gray only came on for a bit, but I mean, he came on about 60 minutes, so he didn't have a massive impact. But I mean, Chalobah did insane in the midfield. They also had that new Richardson, I think his name is, the new Brazilian guy, left wing. He came on, he did bits. Got an assist, I think it was. So I do think all these new signings, and also they got Will Hughes as well from Derby, which is a shame, but I mean, I expect him to go soon. He was there for so long, and I think every Premier League team wanted him at that time. So I think 10th is a really good position, saying they came I think it was 2 spaces above or 1 space above the actual relegation zone last year. Above that, I got Southampton. Southampton always team that always goes like 9th, 10th, 8th, around that position. I think they're just a solid team in general. Their team, their play style goes well. I think Gabbiadini as well as a striker will do well this season. They've also got decent pace. They've also got Redmond. I mean, if Van Dijk goes, I think that will probably drop them down a bit. They'll need to get a new centre back, but I mean, it doesn't look like he looks like he's going, but he doesn't. Like he's declining every single offer. When someone else is offering him, he wants to go to that club. So I don't really get that situation. Next of all, we've got Leicester, the team that just did an unreal job in the Champions League last year, and even a year before winning the Premier League. They brought Iheanacho in. I didn't really see him play that much against Leicester. Vardy was still a madness. Scored 2 goals. Mahrez is still there, even though I think he probably will go Roma. Albrighton was still doing well, and they've also bought Maguire and Jakupovic, I think, from Hull. Obviously, Schmeichel's going to be number 1, and also Maguire was centre back with Morgan. I think Huth is just not going to play for the team that much anymore because he's very old now. But I still think they're still going to challenge other teams. When they played Arsenal, they still bagged goals. They still were very good on the final third. It's just their defending wasn't really the best. Next of all, we got Everton. I mean, they'll still get Europa League like qualifying spots, but I can't see them going any higher. Their team, they've got loads of new players. Sandro, under 23 Spain player. Classidian, I think his name is, for Ajax. He used to play for them. They've also got Wayne Rooney. They bought Michael Keane. They've also got Jordan Pickford. They've got so many players, but still, I think it'll probably be a year because of Lukaku leaving. I'd probably say another year, and they'll probably get top 6, top 5 maybe. Next of all, we got Liverpool. Definitely Coutinho's going to leave. He's not playing in the Europa League qualifying stages. He didn't play against Watford. I think he's going to leave to Barcelona soon, or he's just going to not play. I mean, they're good on the attack. Salah, Firmino, Mane were all insane, but it's just that the defending is so shit. It's so bad. They can't defend corners for shit. Literally, you can just whip it in, it'll probably go in. Mignolet tries to punch it, Fizz is back behind him. That's how bad they are. Arsenal again, I think it's the same thing. The defending's a bit lackluster sometimes. Sometimes they're really good at defending, but sometimes they just do stupid mistakes. I know they've got a lot of people injured. They've got Mertesacker injured, I think it is. They've also got Koscielny injured. They've got Gabriel injured. So they're playing Monreal, Holding and someone else. So they've got a lot of players injured, I think. But I mean, on the attack, Lacazette was doing insane. They got Ozil that looked like he played well. They still got Sanchez to come back if he doesn't leave. So they got a lot of players when it comes to forward. So I do think they're going to qualify for the Champions League, but still come 5th because of him playing in Europe. Next one, we got Chelsea. Chelsea, even though they got Morata, who's a very good striker, I just don't think they're good enough to get top win again. I mean, their defense just doesn't look that good anymore. Even though they still got all their players. KO got sent off. And Fabregas got sent off as well, but I don't think I can't see them coming top again. There's so many teams around them now that just like from 7th to 1st, they look like they all could have a chance of winning. But so it's so hard to decide this because you don't want to put one at 7th and then another one at 1st. Very hard. And then we got Spurs. Even though Walker left, I still think they're doing well. They're still going to do well this season. I don't think they're going to come 2nd. I think the Manchester teams are just so powerful for them to actually get up there. But Dele Alli looks like he's still going to be a madness. Kane takes a couple games for him to get into his rhythm. If Danny Rose doesn't leave, I still think they're going to do very well. Their defence, they still got it. Kyle Peters-Walker, I think his name. I've butchered that. I don't know what it is. But I mean, he did insane against Newcastle when I watched him. He got the man of the match as well, I think it was. And Eriksen's still there. Even though apparently Barcelona are rumoured to try and have a go at getting him. But I don't think he'll leave. He seems like he loves Spurs there. And then finally, we come to the top 2. And people, I know all the YouTubers that I've watched predictions have said the same thing over and over again. So mine's a bit different because I do think this other team's going to win. In 2nd, I do think it's Man City. All the YouTubers seem like Man City's going to win. And then Man United will come 2nd. But I think it's going to be the other way around. I think City just will not be able to get to United position. When I watched them, their win against West Ham 4-0, Lukaku looked unreal. Pogba and Matic was just running the game in the midfield. And Mkhitaryan and Rashford were doing insane on the wings. I think Rashford was like a striker, but he was like playing on the wing a bit. But Mkhitaryan was doing insane. Got 2 assists. When Martial came on, he got a goal and assist, I think it was. So I think their squad depth's even good when it comes to Champions League this season. So I think they'll have a good chance of going through the group stages of the Champions League and even winning the Premier League as well. And City, even though they got a good team, they still got Gabriel Jesus, they got Aguero, they got De Bruyne. I just don't think they can do it. They've also got the Champions League as well. Yes, I know Man United have got it as well, but I can't really see them doing it. I think Man United's squad depth's a bit better as well when it comes to fitness-wise, if they had to change players over again. And also, I think Man United have done the better deals. I think Man City's defence is a bit of a shambles sometimes, and they tried to buy Mendy, Walker, they bought Ederson as well. Even though they're all good players, I still think Man United will win, because they do let in a lot of goals, City do. So, that is my final prediction. It should be here, there, everywhere, or somewhere like there. It's a lot of talking, so I've got to cut down as much as possible. Probably like 20 minutes long. You don't have to watch it. I know a lot of people do this and just skip it to the end, but I don't want to make a 30-second video showing my predictions and then people give me dislikes and shit like that, because it just looks like I made no effort. So this is the best way I can do it. And also, for the next video, I'm doing something that takes me a lot of editing to do. It'll only be like 5 minutes long though. But it takes a while to do, and it's sort of like it's not like a diss track. It's something I'm mixing it up a bit. Let's just say that I'm not making a stupid diss track. So you'll probably enjoy it. So make sure to check that when I make it. It'll probably be in a week or week and a half, because it does take a lot of editing. So I do hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think about my predictions. Any other changes you think to do in this table that you think are different to mine. And I'll see you later. Goodbye. I'm playing pro clubs, because I'm going to bag some goals. Peace!